Cassette Beasts is an 80s vibe creature collector turn-based RPG set in a vast and colorful open world. And at first glance, this might seem like a Pokemon clone or Pokemon-like, and the only similarity really is it's turn-based and has monsters. In Cassette Beasts, not surprisingly, you use cassettes to record monsters, and once they're recorded, you're able to turn your player character into those monsters. But even the gameplay such as Fusion, which is a headlining feature of the game, and the combat itself is very different. So let's first talk about Fusion because that is the main feature you're going to see. The Cassette Beast Fusion system allows you to generate unique, fully animated sprites for any combination of two monsters. Any two of the 120 forms can be fused, meaning over 14,000 fusions are waiting to be discovered. There is an online interactive tool that will allow you to play around and fuse tons and tons of different monsters if you want to get a sense for what that fusion will look like. Fusion works like a temporary evolution during battle, and after transforming your player character and companion into monsters, you can fuse them into a single battler. For the remainder of the battle, or until you unfuse, the two characters work as one with dual typing, combined stats, and access to both sets of moves. As we get closer to and through the launch of Cassette Beasts, we'll go into a deep dive on the fusion mechanic, but that should give you a basic summary of how that mechanic works. And we do want to talk about battles because they are also different than other Pokemon or Pokemon-like games you might be familiar with. In Cassette Beasts, every monster has one elemental type, and every attack also has one elemental type. There are 14 types in Cassette Beasts, and you can see the typing here on the chart showing on your screen. The main difference in this battle system compared to other Pokemon-like games is that a lot of the gameplay is going to be based off of debuffs, buffs. Buffs are positive status effects. Debuff is a negative status effect. So looking at this type chart, if a defender has a green block on the interaction, that means they'll get a buff. If there is a red block, it means they get a debuff. And if it is yellow, it means they'll be transmuted. And transmuted means that your type will be changed. So for example, if a fire type uses a move on a plastic type monster, the monster will melt, transmuting into a poison type, which is really interesting and unique to this game. This opens up a lot of strategic gameplay, allowing you to buff, debuff, and even transmute your own teammates. And we'll talk more about this in a future video, but really excited about this gameplay mechanic and how it's different from other Pokemon and Pokemon-like games. And as we move on from fusion and actual battles, there's also a pretty deep relationship mechanic in the game as well that will impact the efficacy of your fusions and your overall enjoyment of the game. So as we deep dive into the game further in the coming days, make sure to keep an eye on that relationship mechanic that's really important to Cassette Beasts. Cassette Beasts also features a robust open world, which will be really fun to explore. You've played the demo, you know that as you fuse and get more monsters on your cassette tape, you're able to traverse the world in different ways by gliding, moving different objects. So it'll be a lot of fun to see as we go through the game how you can traverse, progress through, and incorporate your different Cassette Beasts to get through this world. The game is releasing for Steam and Windows on April 26th, and will have a console release date in spring 2023. It'll come to Windows, Linux, Steam, Xbox Series X and X, Xbox One, Game Pass, and Nintendo Switch. There are two versions of the game available on launch. One is the base version available for $19 US, and there's going to be a deluxe version available for $30 US, which includes a lot of goodies that we'll talk about now. With the digital deluxe version, you'll get the cosplay pack DLC, you'll get the Cassette Beasts original soundtrack, and digital art book all included. The cosplay pack doesn't add any additional gameplay items, but does allow you to customize your look even further in the game. If you're a fan of 80s/90s music, you'll look forward to the original soundtrack because most of the games will be blasting that type of music, and the OST is a really big part of the game experience, so if you do enjoy that type of music, you'll probably really enjoy the original soundtrack for Cassette Beasts as well. And lastly, the digital art book will showcase 120 unique monsters based on mythology, superstition, and fairy tales, and in the art book you will find the original high-resolution concept art for every monster in Cassette Beast, as well as more detailed explanations on how they came to be and inspirations behind each monster. We also received a recent announcement that Cassette Beasts will allow modding, which is super exciting. It means Cassette Beasts will be open for a completely new type of community-driven interaction and development as they invite us to be part of creating the best, most unique, and fantastic experience there is together through modding and the community. If you have more questions about the upcoming release of Cassette Beasts, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you enjoy these type of games and want to see more content, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Alright, bye everyone.